is me trying to actually re-upload one that I made previously, and my audio was off on it. It was called "Admit It, You Was Tripping." Now, what inspired this moment of realization that I decided to share was I had to take a step back and like assess the kind of pivot I was experiencing in my life. Like, I knew I've been working on this new business brand that I've been super passionate about, and so many doors have been opening for me in order for me to make that happen, such as me, getting my logo together, working on a business plan, and being able to get like an office space to even operate out of for free. And so many other little amazing big blessings that have come with me taking a leap of faith and like moving towards this particular business venture I wanted to go into. But in doing that, I had to pivot away from a career that I was getting established in that I realized wasn't for me. And in doing that, in layman's terms, your girl was leaving a good top tier paying job to take a bet and take a chance on myself and really invest myself in my time and what I was doing. And in making a decision like that, in decreasing, your income or making a career change or just, straight up quitting in order to chase your dreams is very risky. But I realized before, I have plenty of other skills to fall back on to sustain me as I make this transition. I've been doing hair since I was 9 years old. So I've always been able to do something with my hands that provided me income and helped me sustain myself. And besides, like, if I wasn't doing nobody else here, I was definitely doing my own, because one thing about it, I don't never like to look like what I'm going through unless it's a good time. But I realized, and what inspired the title was, I literally said to myself, you was tripping, because I thought I had to give up one old passion in order to pursue another one. I thought that because long term I didn't want to do hair forever, and I didn't want to see or envision myself, maybe standing for 10-12 hours throughout a day doing a bunch of heads in a brick and mortar shop, that maybe doing hair just isn't for me, so maybe I should just put it down entirely. And coming back to the space that I'm in now, as I'm gearing up and preparing for the launch of my brand and this new transition, I realized, like, okay, it would actually be smart for me to fall back into doing hair again and taking my clients on the side and stuff like that. And I realized, like, man, you know what? Why did I feel like I had to give up one in order to pursue the other, just because in the moment, long term, hair does not hair does not embody the long-term goal I have for myself. My long-term goal is to have passive income coming in and things that don't require me to trade my time for money and my physical activity for money. Right now, hair requires me to trade my time and my physical activity for money. But that doesn't mean not doing hair is the answer to me hurry up and getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized I don't need to trade something that is a stepping stone just to try and hurry up and launch and propel me to where I want to be in the end. And I think sometimes that kind of thinking, that kind of impatience, or that kind of honestly comparison to others that we see maybe already living the life that we want, makes us make rash and hasty decisions about what we currently have that may be aiding us to get where we want to go. So that was really where that came from. I realized, like, you know what? I can allow hair to be whatever I want or need it to be for me. If it's a resource, if it's a tool, if it's something that just keeps money in my pocket, I don't have to turn this particular skill into a multi-million-dollar business. And I think that's another thing that is important to address on your journey to entrepreneurship. As you acquire more skills and you get into things that you realize, oh man, I'm really good in this area, I'm really good with media, I'm really good with marketing, everything does not have to become a big scalable business. And I feel like sometimes we get overwhelmed and lost when we find ourselves good at something and we don't save something just for ourselves or save something to just get us by. We often get consumed with, okay, now that I know I'm good at nails, now that I know I'm good at hair, do I need to turn it into a business? Do I need to take 50 clients every week? Not necessarily. Some tools and skills that you have are there to just aid and help you get by. They're there to just help you get to your next step and get to your end goal. Not for you to build a life around it and now find yourself in a career that you created that you don't really love. So now you've traded one kind of work that you didn't want to do for another kind of work that you did want to do, but you wanted to do it when it didn't feel like work. So yes, that was a mouthful, but I found myself struggling with that a lot sometimes and realizing, like, you know what? I had to validate for myself, one, it's okay for me to continue to utilize hair as a tool and an aid for me to get to where I want to go. But I don't have to lock myself in and say, if I'm not cranking out 10 and 20 clients in a week, I'm not serious about it, or I don't care, or that I'm doing it wrong, you know? So just, I consider that encouragement for not only myself, but for those listening and that will listen one day, that it's okay to utilize disposable skills. It is okay to utilize something that you might have a current business or something that you're working on or a current job. It's okay for that to literally be temporary. Every business you have, every skill that you have, everything that you start does not have to follow you for the rest of your life. Look at it as a in the now, in the moment thing that can aid you and get into where you want to go. If that business or that skill that you currently use is aligned with where you want to be, cool. Use that and maximize it out until it's time for you to transition. But if you already sense and feel that what you're currently doing is not really for you and is not really in line with where you want to be in the end, I would say weigh the pros and cons of it before you just quit it or give it up, and assess why those you want to give it up. For me, I realized I was comparing where I was to where people already were, and I wanted to hurry up and get there, so I'm already trying to get rid of anything that seemed like it wasn't aligned with it. But what I missed out on was I enjoyed doing hair, and I enjoyed the life it was affording for me, and I enjoyed the opportunities it created for me to expose a current network I already had to the new things I had going on, to expose people I already serviced to the business that I want to launch. I didn't realize that until I came back and realized I had a market to tap into that I built, that I was just going to throw away because I was trying to hurry up and become an e-commerce goddess and, be like someone else that I saw. So yeah, I had to admit it, I was tripping a little bit, but it's okay. So all in all, I don't want to ramble on and on about it because I feel like I said everything I needed to say. But I hope that this message was useful or helpful or just relatable. Have you ever had something that you've been doing for a while or that you liked to do, and you put it down because, either it was about to turn into a business and you didn't really want to do that, or you may have prematurely given it up because, you thought you needed to be like someone else. Whatever the case, I wish you the absolute best. And no matter what, no matter where you are on your entrepreneurship journey or just in your life period, even if you're not looking to be an entrepreneur, self-reflection is key. And you have permission to look back and go back. I think there's a lot of stigma around going back to things we once did, because to some people that denotes a sense of a lack of progress, or going backwards being a negative thing. Looking back and going back to things you used to do isn't always a negative thing. There are sometimes a lot of positive gems and tools we leave behind in our past because we just don't want to go back there. But don't be afraid to look at who you used to be and learn from them and take some things from that person. So that is it. That is all. I hope you have a lovely evening, and whatever it is that you're doing, continue to work on it, work towards it, and you'll see the fruits of your labor pay off.